Hey there, future doctors and dentists. If you're a pre-med student stressing out over the notoriously brutal UCAT Verbal Reasoning section, take a massive deep breath right now. You're in the perfect place. Today, we're diving into this explainer on exactly how to master difficult UCAT reading passages, and honestly, we're going to turn all that test day panic into pure total empowerment. Okay, let's look at our friendly battle plan to conquer the exam. We've got 5 steps today. 1. The Verbal Reasoning Challenge. 2. Speed reading and strategy. 3. Decoding the question types. 4. Dodging the deadly traps. And 5. Your practice blueprint. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The Verbal Reasoning Challenge. Facing the numbers.
So we have to start with a little reality check just to validate your stress, right? Because this section is an absolute beast. Look at this giant number, 30. That is the brutal reality of the UCAT Verbal Reasoning section. You have an average of just 30 seconds per question. 30 seconds. In that tiny half-minute window, you've got to read, process really complex info, and lock in the correct answer. It feels insanely fast, which is exactly why your strategy just has to be airtight.
To put that into perspective, the official test parameters give you exactly 21 minutes to tackle 44 questions, and those are spread across 11 super dense passages, usually clocking in around 200 to 300 words each. So what does this actually mean? It proves this isn't really a reading test at all. It's a test of pure strategy, hyper-efficient scanning, and keeping a total cool head under pressure.
Section 2. Speed reading and strategy. Your superpowers.
Now that we know what we're up against, let's equip you with some actual superpowers. Listen, speed reading doesn't mean reading every single word faster. It means reading smart. Step 1, you've got to eliminate subvocalization. You know that little voice reading aloud in your head? It slows you right down. Let it go. Step 2, use eye chunking. Instead of going word by word, train your eyes to jump in chunks of 3 to 4 words at a time, looking specifically for the verbs and nouns. And step 3, when you're practicing, physically slide a card down the screen of the page. Why? To physically stop yourself from second-guessing and rereading. You have to trust that your brain will grab the gist as you keep pushing forward.
Before we jump into the specific test mechanics, I wanted to share this sweet little bit of motivation from a top scorer named Jonathan, who absolutely crushed it in the 99th percentile. He says that if you just read newspapers or nonfiction for 15 minutes every single day, this section will seem very easy by test day. Building this skill daily makes the actual exam feel like a breeze. Familiarity is absolute power here, guys.
So those speed reading superpowers are the foundation for our ultimate 4-step close reading protocol. Step 1 is totally counterintuitive but an absolute lifesaver. Read the question stem first. Do this before you even glance at the passage. It primes your brain to hunt for keywords. Step 2 is a moderate-paced scan, where you mentally annotate the author's main claims. Step 3, you evaluate your choices against the text. And Step 4, select the answer that is strictly the best supported, not just the one that sounds the most interesting or true to you.
Section 3. Decoding the question types, knowing your opponent.
All right, with your reading speed up, it is time to decode the specific types of questions they throw at you. Let's look at the absolute classic trap, false versus can't tell. For a statement to be false, it absolutely must directly contradict the text. Like if the text says the sky is blue and the answer says the sky is green, boom, that's false. But if the text just doesn't give you enough clues to know for sure either way, leaving it completely ambiguous, then the answer is can't tell. Don't force a false if the evidence just isn't there. As you can see here, while about 55% of the questions are direct comprehension, a massive 45% of this section is made up of tricky inference questions. Honestly, these inference questions are the absolute boss battle of verbal reasoning. They require you to read between the lines without accidentally stepping out of bounds. To beat that boss battle, you absolutely must learn this critical difference. Explicit claims are directly stated facts. They are right there on the page. But logical implications, which is exactly what those inference questions are testing, are reasonable, logical steps that do not overstep the provided evidence. You've got to avoid the trap of making massive, unsupported assumptions. If the text doesn't explicitly support the leap in logic, simply do not take it.
Section 4. Dodging the deadly traps. Outsmarting the test.
Okay, we have reached the climax of our explainer. We're exposing the sneaky psychological traps the test makers set, so you can just playfully skip right over them. First up is the dispersion trap. And wow, this one is super sneaky. They'll take real, correct facts straight from the passage, but they deliberately mismatch them with the wrong context, the wrong subject, or the wrong time period in the answer choice. Your fast-scanning eyes will recognize the words and scream, "Yes, click true!" But you have to pause, check the relational structure, make sure that fact is actually applied to the correct subject. Next is the contradiction trap. Here, the answer looks totally familiar. It matches the general topic perfectly, but if you look super closely, they've suddenly removed a tiny qualifying word, or they've completely reversed the actual meaning. It's wild. They'll take a claim like associated with improved outcomes and distort it to showed no effect. Always flag qualifying language. This leads us to a really crucial point. You have to train your brain to instantly spot extreme language trigger words. I'm talking about words like all, none, always, every, only, impossible, guaranteed, or proves. Think about it. Academic passages almost never make claims with that level of absolute 100% certainty. They prefer cautious, safe words like suggests or may. So if you see these extreme triggers in an answer choice, it is almost always wrong. Because that extreme language is such a huge giveaway, you can use this cute little 2-second rule. Seriously, before you even properly read the answer options, spend just 2 seconds scanning them for those extreme trigger words. You can often instantly eliminate bad distractors right off the bat without even reading them fully. It saves so much precious time. To round out our complete defense system, here are a few more traps you need to dodge. First, never ever bring in your outside background knowledge. If the text contradicts what you know is true in the real world, follow the text. Second, never assume two things are linked just because they're sitting in the same sentence together. Correlation definitely does not equal causation. And finally, watch out for synonyms. Test writers love hiding the correct answer behind words that mean the exact same thing, but just look different on the page.
Section 5. Your practice blueprint. Training for victory.
All right, now that you have the ultimate tactical playbook, let's dive into this final checklist to structure your prep. First up, practice in a quiet space so you can really build that deep focus. Second, do targeted practice. Don't just blindly click through random questions. Actually figure out why you got them wrong. Third, literally label the traps you fall for. Was it a dispersion trap, a contradiction? Labeling them tracks your specific mistakes so you don't repeat them. And lastly, build your stamina by doing full, unbroken 21-minute timed blocks. You do not want to burn out by the time you reach passage number 11. I'm leaving you with this super empowering thought today. The UCAT doesn't control you anymore. It's just like a giant puzzle, and you now have the exact tools, the strategies, and the mindset to crack it. The test makers are just playing a game of patterns, and you've got the cheat sheet to master difficult UCAT reading passages. So my question for you is, are you ready to outsmart the test makers? How will you use these trap spotting skills in your very next mock exam? Go crush it, and happy studying.